basically, if you express any solidarity with Palestinians as a student, you're canceled, which means your lives are at risk for opposing genocide. And here's the funny part. Somebody like Ron DeSantis, who says that he's for free speech, he will always renege on that free speech over and over and over. He does not actually believe in it. And it's the same thing as if you supported the Black Panthers back in the day. Because then who will they call the T word? They'll call you the T word if you are against what the United States is doing. And you can express it all you want. But guess what? They're going to label you that. Hell, my channel's throttled. I should have more people watching right now, but I don't. Because, well, you know why. So that's the point. Somebody like Ron DeSantis is really against free speech because he does not like for anyone to get in the way of AIPAC and the Israel lobby, who's actually talking about what's going on in regards to Palestine. Ron DeSantis is just the worst, I'm telling you. Gosh. So, Florida man, aka Ron DeSantis, is standing against free speech once again when it comes to voices that stand in solidarity with Palestinians who are undergoing illegal occupation and genocide at the hands of the IDF. Let's take a look at it, folks. So, let me share this with you guys. Yikes. All right, so it says Florida orders universities to deactivate pro-Palestinian group. Yep, it says there are at least 2 students for Justice for Palestine chapters at Florida universities facing cancellation. I thought, hang on, let me make myself bigger. I thought that the right was against cancel culture. Maybe it's just me, but I thought you guys didn't like canceling people. Oh, canceling people as long as they agree with you is bad, but canceling somebody that disagrees with you is okay. So cancel culture still exists for people like Ron DeSantis because it's an opinion that you don't like. Is that where we're going right now? Is this what you're about, Ronnie? Florida man don't like when people disagree with him. Okay. This is out of Tallahassee. Florida's university system chancellor, responding to a push by Governor Ron DeSantis, directed state universities Tuesday to disband campus groups with ties to the National Students for Justice in Palestine organization, marking the first punishments handed down to colleges here amid the Israel-Hamas war. It is not, hang on, first of all, this isn't a war, because a war would denote that there are 2 equal opposing sides fighting each other. You have a paramilitary organization, a militant organization that's no different than the NFAC coalition, which is a black coalition of just paramilitary people with guns. And their numbers are probably, 4, maybe 500 people, versus an actual military superpower that actually has nuclear weapons. One side got paragliders, The other one has F-15 fighter jets. It's not equal, right? One side has has a little paramilitary, and the other one has an actual one of the largest militaries in the world. So, that being said, it is not equal. Also, by the way, what we're witnessing is not a war, it is a genocide. Because if you look at the amount of people who have been killed on the Israeli side, 1,500. The Palestinian side, 7,000. And it's not equal. It is extremely disproportionate. And bombings still continue on the Palestinians, by the way. So we got to make that point very abundantly clear. Now, says in a memo to school leaders, the state ordered a crackdown on campus events led by the pro-Palestinian organization that the DeSantis administration claims amount to, quote, harmful support for terrorist groups, end quote, like Hamas, which attacked Israel in early October. Florida, under Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, has staunchly supported Israel during the ongoing, quote unquote, war, and was monitoring college protests that have since ignited. By the way, just so that people know, when you are being occupied by a foreign entity, you have the right to resist that occupation by any means necessary. That's actually in the Geneva Conventions. That's international law. I'll say that. All right, so continuing on, it says, based on the national SJP support of, you guys see that word, in consultation with Governor DeSantis, the student chapters must be deactivated. That's from State University System Chancellor Ray Rodriguez. There are at least 2 students for Justice of Palestine chapters in Florida universities facing cancellation through ties to the national organization, according to Rodriguez, who did not specify where the groups were located in their memo. The University of Florida and the University of South Florida, though, both appear to have SJP chapters. Florida is targeting the groups over a toolkit published by the national organization that has received growing attention from officials. Rodriguez, for his part, seized on a portion of the toolkit labeled the attack, now known as Operation Al-Aqsa Flood, as the resistance, and claimed that Palestinian students in exile are part of this movement, not in solidarity with this movement. As by linking this document to SJP branches in Florida, the state contends that the groups are violating state law that makes it a felony to knowingly provide material support to a designated foreign organization. So it says national SJP affirmatively identified as one of the Operation Al-Aqsa Flood a blank-led attack. Rodriguez did not spell out any specific punishment the groups or schools would face if they didn't comply. So ultimately, this person was upset that Ron DeSantis didn't act sooner. It says the SJP chapters are disbanded and will be allowed to form new student groups outside the national organization's purview. Rodriguez said in his memo, the chancellor asked universities to grant waivers for groups that seek to reapply as new organizations. So basically, if you express any solidarity with Palestinians as a student, you're canceled, which means your lives are at risk for opposing genocide. And here's the funny part. Somebody like Ron DeSantis, who says that he's for free speech, he will always renege on that free speech over and over and over. He does not actually believe in it. And it's the same thing as if you supported the Black Panthers back in the day. Because then who will they call the T word? They'll call you the T word if you are against what the United States is doing. And you can express it all you want. But guess what? They're going to label you that. Hell, my channel's throttled. I should have more people watching right now, but I don't. Because, well, you know why. So that's the point. Somebody like Ron DeSantis is really against free speech because he does not like for anyone to get in the way of AIPAC and the Israel lobby, who's actually talking about what's going on in regards to Palestine. And how many people, young people, are literally being stopped. They're talking about, well, no, you guys can't do this because you guys are advocating for the people who are I gotta purse my words carefully. For taking out Israelis. When in the meantime, nobody's condemning Israel for the taking out and genocide of thousands and thousands and thousands of Palestinians, all of which are Jewish, Muslim, Christian, atheist, and otherwise. Thousands of Palestinians. You can't talk about that as a student. And then you'll have billionaires that'll say, no, you can't hire these people. You have school presidents and you'll have, oh my God, professors that will literally say, no, you can't. Don't hire these people. Speaking out against genocide, according to them, is a bad thing. According to them, it's a no-no. It's just like, what do you do? And you have college students literally walking out, advocating for Palestine. And yet you got people going, oh my God, people are on the side of the T word. When in reality, nobody's advocating for the T word. What we're advocating for is the ceasefire and the stopping of the murder of Palestinians and the illegal occupation that's literally happening. The colonialism that is happening on a people that have lived peacefully with different religious groups for hundreds of years. Look, here's my thing. If you want to move to Palestine, set up shop, get a place there, fine, cool. Become an immigrant, move there. But don't move the people who have been there for centuries out. Don't push them out of their own homeland. That's the problem. They're not against you living among them. They're against you taking their house. You can live among me all you want. It's cool. But don't take my stuff. Don't take my land. Like, the hell? That's the problem. And somehow, it's a bad thing to say, don't take people's stuff. Don't steal people's land. Like, when has that become so bad? Apparently, the people at the top don't like you advocating against stealing. Tracks, doesn't it, though? It tracks. So people like Ron DeSantis want you to be able to say, well, yeah, it's okay if you advocate for people who steal other people's stuff. But if you advocate for people to try to take their stuff back, oh, that's just wrong. Now, there is a lot of colleges right now that are walking out, that are, man, they are railing against this. And I have to say this: the kids are going to be all right. They're going to be all right, man. And I'm actually quite happy about them.